The Central Bobcats are in scoring position, but who's to say they're surprised there? The Bobcats have this offense running and churning up in Abilene. They're taking on the Abilene Cooper tonight. Here it is. You've seen it once. You've seen it twice. You've seen it tons of times. It's a Tyler Hill keeper. Makes one miss to the outside. It's a touchdown for the Central High Bobcats. It's getting around halftime. It's a close ball game there. James, how are we feeling so far?
Feeling good. We knew that was going to be a fight. We expected Central to kind of run away with it. Right now the score is, I believe, 14-10?
Yeah, it's 14-10.
Okay, so not exactly running away with it, but...
Yeah, it's a tight ball game there, 14-10, but the Central High Bobcats are up in that one.
All right. I'm getting text from Wall.
All right. Do we want to just go before we go ahead and start? Do you want to just do a quick scores update?
Sure.
Actually, before we do that, we actually have Isaiah. Isaiah, can you hear me? Maybe not. We're dealing with some internet issues here. We have our Midland Legacy guy here, but we're trying to get him on. Give me a second. James, kind of give us a wrap-up while we wait on him of what we got so far.
Okay, Wall Jim Ned, we knew that was going to be a game. It's 0-0. It went in at the half. Second half just started. El Dorado Sonora is 6-7. We knew that was going to be another dogfight. Midland Legacy is running away with it, like 35-7 at one point. Central's winning, and Lakeview is losing. It is 16-0 Vernon there in San Angelo Stadium. I couldn't find stats on Vernon, so they're obviously playing pretty well.
Perfect. Just let me get a quick mic check. Isaiah, can you hear me? Oh, it looks like he left again. So we'll catch back up with him here in a little bit. Over there we're having a little internet trouble, but let's go ahead and get to some scores to get it going. James, what was one of the most surprising scores that you saw so far in this first half?
47-0 Sterling City blowing out Abilene TLCA. It was 40-0 in the first quarter. Playing 6-man all those years, I guess maybe Trey Cisco doesn't know there's a 45. There's no 45 rule in 11-man, or he just doesn't care.
They're just down to keep it rolling. All right, James, we got some scores for you. Let's go ahead and rattle some of these off, starting with Lakeview. Vernon, we told you this is a halftime score of 16-0, but from there, let's move it on.
All right, we got Stanford over Ballinger, 24-0 at the half. And in the second quarter, Comanche and Early are tied at 14. Second quarter, Sanderson. Oh,
sorry about that.
That's all right.
Sanderson and Sands, 26-20. That's a battle right there.
Yep. Water Valley are getting blown out by Miles, 49-0 at the half. McCamey over Rock Springs in the second quarter, 14-8. Cristobal over Colorado City in the third quarter, 14-0. Albany over Seymour, 14-7 in the half. Jim Ned and Wall 0-0 entering the third quarter. Claude and Borden County, 37-14. Hamlin over Crosbyton at the half, 20-0. Reagan County over Crane, 7-6 in the second quarter. Odessa Compass over Ira Ann, 7-0 in the half. El Dorado Sonora, 6-7 in the second quarter. Amarillo Tascosa, 6-0 over Permian. Wink over Alpine.
Yeah, there's Wink and Alpine, 21-0. Westbrook and Rankin right now tied at 18 apiece. That's a good one there. Blackwell and Highland, 18-6. Blackwell's up. Trent and Harold, 21-13. Trent. Klondike, Lorraine, 2016. Klondike. Here's your TLCA Eagles. They're tied with the Winners Blizzards right now, 22-0. James, what do you think about that score?
22-20. Yeah, no, that's how do you get 22 in football? Anyway, no, that's a tight game. That's a good game. I
think that's kind of a little closer than what I would have expected.
Yeah, I talked to Mike McCarty earlier in the week. That's his name. Matt McCarty, my bad. I'm sorry. The head coach there in Winners. He said it doesn't matter. We're going to execute. The weather didn't really affect their game last week. They went into overtime against El Dorado. This week they're hoping for something a little bit better, and you got it. It's it's a tight game there.
22-22. Paint Rock Rochelle 37-6 Rochelle. Coleman and Brady 20-12. Coleman's up in that one. Robert Lee and Baird 16-14. Tight game there. Trinity and Garden City. Garden City is running away with this one 54-0. Big Springs and Monahans 9-6 Big Spring. Friendship Lubbock Monterey. Oh, look at that little misspelling there. Sorry about that. 12-10 Lubbock Monterey. Midland Greenwood against Andrews. The Rangers are down in that one 20-0. Grape Creek and Bangs. Your Eagles are down 33-6 right now to the Dragons. Junction and Dehanas 7-6 at halftime. That one's close. Mason, Ozona. The Punchers are up 21-0. Burnett and Brownwood 14-7. Lions are down in that one. Erie and County 41 to Roby's 0. Midland Legacy 35-7. We'll have highlights of that coming up pretty quickly. Asper Mountain Moran 20-0. Blanket Eden 34-0. That's a first quarter score. And Sterling City Abilene TLCA. Check this out. Sterling City is up 53-0 right now, James.
No, yeah, that's Cisco's hired on his 11-man coach, and he obviously didn't forget how to coach 11-man.
All right, moving on, we got Morgan and Rising Star. That one is a 44-18 score for Rising Star. Lubbock Estacado versus Amarillo Paladura, 14-10. Estacado's up in that one. Cress and Grady, 46-14. Cress. This is a last night score of Keller and Odessa, 49-21. Heiko Cross Plains right now is 14-7 with Cross Plains up. Midland Amarillo, another game that happened last night, 27-8. Amarillo is up. And then we have a few more scores that we'll catch up with, including the TLCAs of Midland and Abilene, and then Menard and Bronton. Very best. James, what do you think about the score so far? What kind of a night are we having? Are we having a night of upsets? Are we having a night of good teams playing good? What do you think's happening so far?
I think we have a lot of dogfights across the state, to be honest with you. We got Wall Jim Ned, El Rey Sonora, TLCA winners, that's tied up. Yeah, I think we got a lot of good games going on in the area right now.
Yes, yeah, we do. And in fact, let's go ahead and get to one of the highlights. Let's go to our own boys there in Lakeview,
All right, Lakeview,
which is the homecoming. And Ernesto Rodriguez, go ahead and take this away.
It's second down and 1 here. Vernon has it. Started the second quarter. Hands off to his man, and looks like he got in. 4th and 15. Currently up 6-0. The extra point was blocked on the last time when they tried for that after they scored the touchdown. The kick is up, and it's good. 9-0 is your score with 8.5 to go. 3rd and goal with less than 2 minutes to go here. Vernon is at the 2. Hands it off to his man, and he has made it in for the touchdown.
Okay, yeah, all right. So right now, Lakeview is down, but it's not over yet. It is homecoming. You know, crazy things could happen. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. But as of right now, the score, I think, is 16. Is it 16-0?
Yeah, 16-0.
Yeah, 16-0. The Chiefs are down, but like I said, anything can happen. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. James, I know you kind of got involved in this game a little bit. What were you thinking coming into it, and then what have you seen so far, and how you're assessing this one?
I thought Lakeview was going to run roughshod over them. I didn't see any stats for Vernon, so it's kind of hard to assess them. The two teams they played aren't necessarily the best teams, and they weren't the best teams last year. So I kind of thought Lakeview would run well because they have Ricky Ramirez, Ian Cortez back there who have almost 400 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. I thought they were going to run well. You know, they had a secondary that picks the ball off. I thought they were going to play, but apparently, you know, Vernon's running on them down near the end zone and getting in. That's just
and you know what? Sometimes the Chiefs, you know, they can play really well, and then they go to a week, and it's just a whole nother ball club. You know, I'm not saying it's over, but I've been saying this since we did the pregame show that they are a team that does have big letdowns, and right now it seems like the Chiefs are letting us down. Yeah,
no, I agree. This has to be deflating, you know, but you need to pull together and come back out and play well. You need to come back together, and that's the only way you're gonna pull out of this. And you're down 16-0. You got a steep climb. That's 2 scores, but probably 3 scores if you're Lakeview.
All right, we're still trying to work on getting some of our guys going from the games. But before we get to any of them, let's go ahead and we want to shout out our sponsors for the show, and of course we want to shout out All American Chevrolet. They have everything, including the 2022 Equinox, which has a 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Go down there and see them. They're right there on Bryant and 6th. Just go ahead and see them, All American Chevrolet. Also, you can go down to the Autoplex, where they also have a ton of good deals as well. Another one we want to shout out, of course, is Double Dave's. They are pretty much our food sponsor for this show. Double Dave's, and their pizza of the month is the Nashville chicken. We had some earlier. It's crispy, thin crust, ranch, Nashville hot sauce, boneless wings, red onions, cheddar, mozzarella, bread and butter pickles. I promise you the bread and butter pickles are for real. So go ahead and see them in the Southwest Plaza Center. They're at 3526 Knickerbocker Road, or you can just give them a shout at 325-947-3283. All right, James, so we're going to keep moving with these games. These games are moving pretty fast, but we're going to keep going. We're going to go to a game that we thought was going to have a lot of action, but we also knew was going to happen very quickly, and that's the Wall Hawks. So if you want to just go ahead, we'll just take it away with this highlight.
All right, let's put the highlights up. They have two plays down in the end zone. Garrett Guy tries to slam away at that defense, gets stuffed. Second play, quarterback fumbles the ball, tries to jump over the line. I thought that was a touchdown. Refs thought that they turned the ball over on downs. Jim led ball. Number 6, Gladwell finds number 3, Colt Lindsey for the first down. Back to wall ball. 2, David Reynolds gets the pitch, gets about 5 yards. Now number 14, Gunnar Dillard is going to heave it to number 33, Canyon McCabe, who gets interfered with. You see yellow laundry falling down the field. They line up, they have a false start on a kick attempt. They get backed up, they have another kick attempt, and that was ugly. We knew this game was going to be a fight coming into it.
And
it's a fight.
It was, James. That's exactly what it is.
These two coaches, these two teams, they have a lot of respect. They know each other very well. They've played in the same district before. Now they're not in the same district. Jim Ned graduated a lot of kids. They have a lot of injuries. It's hard to get a read on them because they're starting new players. And, Coach Guy is going to have his team well prepared, and Matt Fanny's going to have his team well prepared. They hate losing to each other, and it's a good, healthy rivalry.
Yeah, I think last year the score was like 1,000,000 to 1,000,000 or something. It was a very high-scoring game. Tonight,
I think it was more one-sided towards Xavier Wishart's team last year.
Yeah, I think so a little bit. But at the same time, Wall was able to hang in there for a little bit. But this was a completely different ball game. This is a 0-0 game at halftime, and the way the second half is already starting, I'm seeing some stuff roll in. It's looking like it's going to be the same. What are we thinking? I mean, is this exactly what Wall wants to do to get this win? This is exactly what they want. Keep the score low, so that way when they keep it, they can stay that dominant way, huh?
Yeah, no, it's going to be whoever breaks first. It's going to be a missed assignment. It's going to be miscommunication in the defensive backfield, or it's going to be along the defensive line. It's going to spring a big run. That's what's going to break this game, and it's probably going to be 7-0, 7-3.
Yeah, I would say
10-0.
14-7.
We're probably in the fourth quarter already.
Yeah, no, we're still rocking third quarter in that game, but I mean it's got to be winded down. We were expecting this as like a 2.5 hour game because how much both teams run the ball. So.
I mean, that halftime was probably half an hour, and they did the Clayton Wysoon renaming of the stadium after him. He died in a car crash earlier this year, and he played at Wall, was a great player at Wall. Played at ASU here in San Angelo, was a great player there. Good enough to get drafted in the 3rd round by the New England Patriots, and holds the record for most tackles in a season. And back then, they played like 12 or 14 game seasons. That makes that tackle number 229 even more impressive.
Wait, in this for
the season, for the Patriots, he holds the season record for tackles, 229.
That's very impressive, and that's exactly what the Wall Hawks want to do. They want to be smash mouth right in your face and keep busting it open.
And that's how they've always done it.
All right, so we have one more game that we want to bring you into, and that would be the Central High Bobcats.
Right.
We have some second half highlights from you. Let's get it started right here. And this Abilene Cooper team came to play at this point. It was 10-7. So right here, just on the off the left. Steps out of bounds and that'll pass it up.
First and 2. Second and 2.
All right, here we go. Fixing their handoff. Same thing. Just gave it to him. This is exactly what the Cooper don't worry, guys. We showed y'all that Central was able to answer. Here, quickly on that one. We went on to 7 minutes. Handoff right there. Moves his way through. Gets about half.
That's what Central needs to do in this game. They need to play on that defense. And he takes a lift right there.
Flag on the game. Play.
And because of this, is actually
If you've seen the press boxes, they're not the best.
so that right there, that kick made 14-13. But since then, the Bobcats have scored, like we showed you at the beginning of the show. If not, rewind it back there and you can check it out. James, what do you think about the Bobcats so far? I know we're trying to get Ryan on the horn, but as of right now, we can't. So we got to kind of give our own takes. What do you think about the Central High Bobcats so far?
I thought Central was going to run away with this one. I thought Cooper was trying to figure out who they were. And I thought Central was going to run roughshod all over them. Apparently not. You know, Cooper's making a team. Is Central playing down the competition? More than likely. I mean, it's what it looks like.
That's what I think. I mean,
Yeah.
This is the same thing that happened last week. You know,
Right.
it's going to be a shootout. We kind of called it. But right now it's looking like whoever has the ball last is probably going to win this game.
Well, that's what you said earlier this week, or in the show, the pregame show. You said whoever has, that's a shootout right there. Whoever has the ball last is gonna score and win. Central should have come away with this one with a pretty easy win, I believe, but we're not gonna get that.
Yeah, well, it's still an early ball game. I can tell you this right now that let me see. I'm not gonna see another score yet for that Central game. So right now that is still tied
Actually,
at
halftime. I have 28-20.
28-20?
Abilene Cooper over Central.
Okay, all right. Well, perfect, James. Let's run through some scores, and I'll see if I can find that thing, and we'll get it rolling. Give me one second.
All right.
We pull them up right
Yeah,
here.
we've got 28-20 Abilene Cooper over Central. We've got 0-0 tied up out there in Wall, Texas. All right, and we got Comanche early 35-14. That was 14-14 earlier. Amarillo Tascosa 12-0 over Permian in the third quarter. TLCA and winners 28-22. Sonora 12-7 over El Dorado at the half. That's another fight right there. You know, they have two good offensive playmakers. I believe it's Jamie Butron at the quarterback position and Hunter O'Bannon at the running back and receiver position. 20-7, Cristobal over. No, you're okay. Cristobal over Colorado City. Tackling's a lot better in Cristobal this week. Lubbock Monterey over Friendship 12-10 at the half. Andrews over Midland Greenwood 20-0 in the third quarter. Cress over Grady 72-22 at final.
Wow.
That's a six-man score. Yeah, no, that's a 33-6. Bangs over Grape Creek. The Dragons eating the Eagles. Mason over Ozona 21-0. Punchers have a good team. McCamey over Rock Springs 14-8 at the half. Forsan over Stanton 13-0 at the half. D'Hanis over Junction 14-6 in the third quarter. Cross Plains over Heiko 21-7 at the half. Hamlin over Crosbyton 20-0 in the third quarter. Odessa Compass and Iran tied up in 7 in the third quarter. Westbrook and Rankin 26-18 at the half. Highland over Blackwell 20-18 at the half. Trent over Harold 44-20 in the second quarter. Vernon over Lakeview 16-0 in third quarter. It's looking rough for our Chiefs. Lorraine over Klondike 30-20. Rochelle over Paint Rock 45-6 at the half. Barnett Brownwood 14-10 at the half. That's a good game. Blanket over Eden 44-0 in the second quarter. Aspen over Moran 36-8 in the second quarter. Lubbock Estacado over Amarillo Palo Duro 14-10 in the third quarter. Robert Lee over Baird 40-14 in the second quarter. Erie and County Roby 57-0 in the second quarter. Bront over Very Best 22-6 in the second quarter. Reagan County over Crane 10-6 in the second quarter. Midland Legacy 49-7 over Abilene at the half.
Wow, yeah. So
yeah, we
there's-
knew Legacy was going to take it to Abilene this week.
I know,
We
just
knew that.
another one, just monster
Right.
moves there by the Legacy
But you got-
Rebels. And
Yeah, when you got Davila, Luna, Sanye, you got all these playmakers, Brazel.
Yeah.
You've got all these players around the field making plays on defense. You have a young playmaker in Zeno, Braylon Zeno. We expected that to happen.
Yeah, we did, and that's why I guess everybody on our Cover One crew picked the Midland Legacy Rebels to win that game. And if you didn't see the pick show, you might as well go back and watch it while it's halftime, and we're waiting for a few stuff. Go back and watch it and see what we chose. I know I chose a few that James didn't pick, and he chose some that I didn't pick. So some things we were in agreement on, and some things we weren't. We break down every single game and give you our thoughts on what we were. Were we right? I don't know. Were we wrong? I don't know. I guess we'll still have to wait till the end show, which is going to start about 10 o'clock. But before we go though, we just want to mention our sponsors one more time. All American Chevrolet and the Autoplex. You know, if you got a car that you think you got some trade-in value on, and I promise you they're going to give you what you need, go down there to the Autoplex. Also, Thiemann Investments. Shout out to those guys: Edward Jones, Double Dave's Pizza, and Angelo Bolton Industrial Supply. Guys, this has been the halftime show. We're going to have more just like this. We're going to have halftime. We're going to have post-game sound from the coaches. We're going to have highlights. We're going to have scores. We're going to have everything you need. So make sure you guys tune in, and we'll see you guys at about